Okay, so now I'm gonna be baking my loaves. They've been proofing all night in the fridge. I've got one in this bowl here and then one here. So I'm gonna leave them in the fridge until the last second, and only when I'm really ready, I have everything ready, I'm gonna take them out, score them, put them in the oven. My oven's been at 475 for about half hour with the Dutch ovens in them, because I want to go from the fridge to the hot. I want to like do a shock from cold to hot as quick as I can, just to get the best oven spring, and so it'll stay together better so that it won't flatten out too much. So I go from fridge to oven as quickly as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I use for parchment paper. What I use is something that looks like this. I make like a little form like this with two handles on them, and that's what I use to put in my Dutch ovens. And that I learned from Brittany Wood, the creator of Sour Flour. It's this book that I have. I learned that from this girl. Okay. So I have my parchment paper here. I just get like a square piece, and then I fold it in quarters. Fold it in half and then fold it in a quarter. And then after that, I get the spine to be on my left, and then the open flap to be on the bottom. And I cut like this. I cut a quarter of a circle. And then I cut up like this. So it looks like this. So the spine is on this side, and then the open flap is on this side. And I cut like that, and then you open it up, and it makes a nice little parchment paper that you can grab onto. So that's what I'm gonna use to put my loaves on. Okay, so here's my Dutch ovens. They've been preheating in the oven for about half hour. I'm gonna take them out right away. Okay, so I'm about to get my loaves out, and as I say, I wanna get them out as quickly as I can and get them into the oven as quickly as I can, because I don't want them to lose their shape too much. I want them to keep their shape as much as they can, so I'm gonna do that quick. Okay, first I'm gonna get my Dutch ovens out. Okay, now I got my bread out. Just got it out of the fridge. So what I do is I take it, remember in my last video, the seam side was up. So this is the seam side, and then I just dump it out onto my parchment paper. So the seam side is down, and then I just peel out my tea towel. I flour the surface. Spread it all around. I'm just gonna be using a regular kitchen knife, but I sharpened it beforehand to make it as sharp as possible for my scoring. Okay, I'm gonna do one with no ear and one with an ear. This one will do with no ear, so I'll just do a simple, like little fern, or wheat, I think they call it, a little thing of wheat. Okay, other one. Seam side is up. I dump it out, so seam side is down. Flour. The flour just makes a really nice contrast when it goes to bake, and you see the scoring pattern really nicely when you put flour on it. Okay, this one I'm like an ear. So basically I just make a C shape starting at the top of the loaf all the way down to the bottom. And I'm basically, when I'm making an ear, I'm controlling where the steam is going. The ear is like a deep cut that cuts all the way through the loaf. I always do actually I was supposed to do the shallow cuts first, and then you finish with the ear, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm gonna put those in my Dutch ovens. I take my little handles that I have right here, and that's what I use to lift it up. that I put on for 20 minutes with the lid on. Okay, 20 minutes is up. So after 20 minutes, all I do is I take off the lid. Okay, here we go. All I do is I take off the lid. And there we go. And I put it in for another 20 minutes. Okay, my 20 minutes are up. So now I'm ready to take the bread out. And there we go. And then I just put them on a cooling rack and I let them completely cool before cutting into them. So this is the one that I had put the ear on it. I'd made the slit in the side, so all the steam went out of that part. That's what this one looks like. This one I didn't put any ear, and that's how that one turned out. And that's what I do when I make classic sourdough.